Please make your way to a comfortable seated place. Sasha's just finding her way behind me onto a cushion under her bum. I have a cushion under my bum. I have my ball in my hand, and we're going to start with a bit of ball work today after we settle. So if you can have your ball close to you, that would be great. I also am going to use the strap today. I'm going to do a little bit of footwork today. So that's for you, Marcia. Happy Easter present for Marcia. Okay. Yeah. So come to seated. You don't have to have your ball in your hand now. Just have it close to you. And drop into your body with your breath. And when I say that, if you like, you can practice taking a very long exhale. So there's a few things that should happen when you do that process, when you come into your center. And a few things you can do is you can close your eyes, and you can lower your shoulders, and you can take a very long, deep exhale. And the last thing that I think you can do is also bring your attention down into your body, into your breathing, into your lungs. And notice the rise and fall of your chest. And notice the expansion and contraction of your belly. And I just wanted to make a quick note about the belly. We often are taught to hold our belly in, and in this work, it's not useful to hold your belly in. It's what do we call that? Counterproductive. Please don't hold your belly in. Make it as soft as you can. You can hold it in later if you want, when you put your pants on. Just let it go out, especially on the inhale. A lot of us are taught to pull our belly in on the inhale. Let's see if you can counteract that teaching. It's a thought pattern. It's an embodied thought pattern. See if you can remove that a little bit today. It takes a lot of practice to get rid of that. So starting to feel your whole body as a balloon. As you inhale, you get a little bigger. And as you exhale, you get a little smaller. Swallow gently, releasing your throat muscles. I took an amazing class this morning from my colleague Caroline, and she told us that our vocal cords are the size of the white part of your fingernail. They're that small. They're just these two little tiny pieces of tissue here. So imagine as you swallow that you're releasing your vocal folds. People call them the vocal cords or the vocal folds. Just release the tension in them. And we're going to start with a B breath, because that's another way to release your vocal folds and also your lips and your cheeks and, well, everything. Do you remember the B breath? Big inhale through your nose. Big exhale, buzz like a bee. Deep inhale. Take a few normal breaths and we'll practice a variation on that. We can call this the breathing moistly breath. Do not do this in public. Look down a little bit, especially now. And we're going to flutter our lips as we exhale. Deep inhale. I'm not good at this. And Sasha's so much better at it than me. I'm really not good at it. So that's a variation on the B breath. Let's practice it again because I need to practice. Big inhale. Take an inhale. Let's go back to the buzz. Let your lips just gently lie on each other. Notice any tingling or any softness. The softness might radiate out from your lips, and the tingling might radiate out to your cheekbones, your cheeks, jaw. And let's go straight into some breath capacity work. Let's do sips and sucker punches. Take a deep inhale. And grow. 3 sips. Suspend your breath. And then exhale through your nose, gently, carefully. All the way. And then 3 exhales. When you're as empty as you can be, get even more empty. Suspend a little bit there and then inhale. Remember air hunger. You want a little bit of that air hunger. Open up as big as you can and then 3 little sips. Suspend your breath, hold. And then exhale, gentle exhale, LSD, long, slow, and deep. Make that as long as you can. Use your diaphragm, soften your belly. And 3 little punches. I hate the word punch. If anyone can think of an alternative. And suspend, completely empty. And inhale. Three little sips. And exhale. We're going to try something on the exhale. So hold your breath out on the exhale. Fully exhale. 3 little punches. Now inhale your, sorry, don't inhale. Keep your breath out. Lift your arms overhead. Reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, bring your arms down. Let's try that again. Big inhale. 3 little sips. Suspend a little minute and then exhale with control. All the way out. See if you can feel the front and the back of your body touching each other. 3 little punches. Hold out. Inhale your arms up and reach. And then exhale. I said inhale, didn't I? Let's try that again. You know, you want to do that with empty lungs. Last time, big inhale through your nose. All the way, big, big, big. Rib cage big, 3 sips. Suspend a little bit and then exhale through your nose. All the way, as empty as you can get. 3 little punches. Hold your breath out. Lift your arm. And then inhale. Release your arms, release your breath to normal. So when you lift your arms like that on the exhale, it's a bit similar to the diaphragm vacuum. What happens is your belly pulls up, everything pulls up into your ribs. You lift your arms and then you get a couple of, you just hold here for a couple of seconds and then you let everything fall back down. So now grab your ball if you have it, or take your fingertips and begin your tapping. You can tap your temples, your cheekbones, your neck, vagus nerve, chest. If you have your ball, push, twist, and wiggle. And you can do this on your face. I often do this between my eyebrows just to release. And we'll do it also. Oh, sorry, I didn't give you one, Sash. You're happy with your hands? And then same on your throat, push in, twist, and wiggle. Toning vagus nerve. We did this with the eye movements yesterday. Last few breaths. And let's do one more of the exhales. We'll do one more B breath and one more of the lip breath. We'll do them in the other order though. Lip breath first. So take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, flap your lips. Inhale. B breath. Give you normal breath. And Sasha was saying yesterday that the work that she was doing here, especially with the eyes, was making her very tired. Breath work can make you very tired. It can also make you very energized. So just see what happens within yourself and work with it. As time goes by, it'll make you a little bit less tired and more energized. I'm going to move back to the couch now. And let's immediately move into our twists here. Let's inhale our arms overhead. Hold up here, lift everything towards the ceiling, and then exhale, twist in one direction or another. If you're seated, your legs are crossed. Probably they can be extended if you like. If you're on the couch, this is our first move. So really big breaths. We've already done a bit of breath work, so your lungs should be fully inflated and your chest fascia is open. Use that here in the twist. We're using the twist as warm up. Last breath, big inhale. You can take a deep breath here on the exhale if you like. Release the twist. Come back to center. And then take your little bow in the opposite direction. So go over to the opposite side. Drop your forehead. Come back up to center. Find your neutral. And then inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Take a huge breath in. Exhale, twist the other side. Put one hand on your knee, one hand behind you on your chair. And breathe. Big inhale. Big exhales, LSD. Next inhale, lift your spine towards the ceiling. Lift the crown of your head. Take a deep breath if you like. Release the twist. Come back to center. Take your little bow on the other side. You can see that a B breath extends your exhale a lot. It limits the amount of air that comes through your mouth and nose. And you're forced to use your diaphragm. Come back to center, take a breath. Let's inhale overhead again. And exhale, forward fold. Extend your legs if you're on your couch or chair if you like, and exhale, forward fold. Just a gentle forward fold, feeling that tugging in the backs of your legs. We're going to work on some feet things today. And we'll also do some shoulders. So take one more breath. And the reverse swan dive up. And come back to neutral. Reach for your strap or whatever you have. Do you want my strap, Sash? You can also use a belt or a sweater. Sash, well, I'll use it to demo and then I'll go get you one. Okay, so you can use a house coat belt or a belt that you have and loop it around your feet here. And we're just gonna practice this because we'll do this later on in the practice in different ways. Loop it around your feet. And if you have trouble getting to your feet, bend your knees a lot, loop it, and then you can extend your feet a little bit more and pull. So it helps you to come into more of a slightly deeper forward fold. Deepen your breath. There you go, Sash. I'll go grab another one. Thank you. Take 2 more breaths. I'm going to use a sweater just to show you that it can be done. You can use anything for this. Last breath. Just connect you to your feet a little more. Release your strap. You can leave it on the floor in front of you. Come on up. And exhale, neutral. Let's flow right into our sun salute. Thank you for posting that picture, Karina. We're getting so good at these sun salutes. It's really a variation that I kind of made up for the chair, but I think it works quite well. If you're standing, just come to standing now and inhale your arms overhead in Tadasana, mountain pose. And then exhale. We'll do this first one very slowly. Exhale, swan dive forward, back into that forward fold. Feel all that tugging where you just felt it. Inhale, long spine. Place your hands on your knees or your thighs and inhale, long, long, long spine. Push your chest forward. And then exhale, fold. Coming back up now, pull your right knee into your chest or bring it back into a lunge. And exhale, sink down, sink your forehead towards your knee. Inhale, long spine, straighten your spine up again. And then exhale, release, downward facing dog if you're standing. Inhale, cow pose. Pull your chest forward, beam your chest towards me. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, cat pose. Pull your belly button back towards the back of your couch or chair. And now, right foot goes back if you're on the floor, left knee comes in. Tug your left knee in as far as you can, and then exhale, forehead towards your knee. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, we're gonna do a big swan dive forward. Step up if you're on the floor and forward fold. So each forward fold gets a little deeper. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, each forward fold, you flutter forward a little further. Spine gets a little longer. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, neutral. I've got my legs bent for this one, just to demo. Inhale, overhead. Legs bent version's a little less strenuous. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands on your knees. pull up, half lift. Beautiful. I can see lots of people doing this beautifully. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your left knee in or step your left knee left like that. Exhale, dip your forehead towards your knee. Squeeze your knee into your forehead. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, downward facing dog or neutral pose seated. Big inhale. Grab your knees if you're seated. Inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward if you're standing. If you're seated, right knee comes in. Inhale. And then exhale, find that big fold. Fold up like a snail. Pull your knee in towards your face. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold like a big eagle. Big inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Big exaggerated movements to warm up the fascia. Inhale up. Notice how my movements are so exaggerated. Right out to the fingertips. Exhale, neutral. Let's go through that a little faster this time. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, huge swan dive. Here we go. Big forward fold. Inhale, hip hinge. Long spine. Use your back muscles. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, right knee comes up or right foot goes back. Exhale, squeeze small. If you're standing, drop into your lunge. Squeeze, stretch out your psoas. Big inhale. If you're seated, straight spine, as straight as you can get. And then exhale, neutral spine if you're standing, downward facing dog. Let's take a breath here in downward facing dog. Big inhale. Stay in neutral here. Just giving those people in downward facing dog an extra breath. And now inhale forward. Grab your legs or your knees and inhale your chest forward. Upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog or cat pose. Bring your right foot forward if you're standing, but if we're seated, left knee comes in. Squeeze it in and squeeze your spine long, crown of the head towards the sky. And then on the exhale, curl up. If you can bring your forehead to your knee, press your forehead into your knee. Use your abs. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, big exaggerated forward fold. Big inhale, half lift. Big exhale, forward fold. Exaggerate your movements. Big wide arms, reverse swan dive. Use your belly. Exhale, neutral. Here we go, other side. Left leg moves first. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, empty the air out, fully forward fold. Inhale, crown of the head comes towards me. Exhale, take that big fold. Inhale, pull your left knee in. Step back with your left foot if you're standing. And exhale, curl up like a little snail, only if you're seated. If you're standing, drop into your lunge. Inhale, straight spine if you're seated. Exhale, extend your legs, and let's take a pause here. Downward facing dog for the people who are standing. Take a breath cycle. Inhale, exhale. Here we go, upward facing dog. Make it a strong one. Grab your knees or your legs. Pull your chest through. Big inhale. Full exhale. Cat pose. And now inhale, gather your right knee up towards you. If you're standing, left foot goes back. And exhale, fold, sorry, forward. Big inhale. And our second last forward fold, big exhale. Inhale, strong back. It's like a Superman, if you ever do Supermans in the gym. Not that we've seen a gym for a long time. Exhale, fold. Again, balance the effort in your abs and your back. Inhale up like a Superman. And exhale, neutral. Bend your knees. Stand in mountain pose if you're standing. Take a breath. One more. I would like to do some scapular push-ups today. This is a new thing for us. If you're standing up, please come down into the floor, work your way down, swan dive your way down, come into plank. And here on the chair or on the couch, what we're going to do is we're going to move our shoulder blades back towards each other. You remember we practiced something? I was saying to imagine running a credit card between your shoulder blades. You're doing this on the ground too. So if you're in plank, push, you can be in plank on your knees or even on all fours like this. Push your shoulder blades towards each other, sink your chest towards the floor, make a groove between your shoulder blades, and then you do the opposite. Push the middle of your shoulder blades towards the ceiling, kind of like cat pose, but I'm not so concerned with the rest of the body, just the shoulder blades. So if you're seated, it's going to look like this. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, squeeze your shoulders towards each other in the front. So only your shoulder blades are working. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. And if you're on the floor, scapular push-ups, they're hard. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Shoulders come towards each other like they have magnets or like there's a string here, pulling them together. Open them up and pull your shoulder blades together. 2 more times. Exhale, pull the front heads of your shoulders together. That's it, Sash. 1 more time. Inhale. Shoulder blades together as if you're running a credit card through your shoulder blades, and then pull them together at the front. And now take some wiggles as if you're rowing both directions. Imagine you're like holding like you're doing a kayak, both directions. Yeah, you can be seated on your knees if you're seated. Last breath, and then we're going to pull one shoulder across. We do this a lot. And then the other one's kind of like an intermediary pose that I just kind of use to loosen your shoulders. And then bring your right elbow overhead and your left. If you can't reach your elbows, you totally pull on your wrists here. And bring your hands back to neutral. Take a breath. Let's take some side bends here. So you can either do this standing up, or you can do it on the couch. And we've done this lots of times before. Come to one side, and then the other. So if you're standing up, you look a little bit like a windmill. It's quite vigorous if you're standing up. It's happening in your belly. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. You can even take your hands and place them on your leg for the bottom one, just like you're putting your hand on the couch or the floor. Few more. What's happening in your lower back here? If you feel anything happening in your lower back, squeeze in with your belly muscles. Remember how I told you a little while ago to soften your belly? Now is the time not to soften your belly. Make it strong. We want to be soft and strong. We want to be able to do both. Right now I'm asking for your belly to be strong and working and protecting your low back. Last one. Bend your knees, take a break. If you're sitting on the couch, it looks like this. And now no matter where you are, bring your hands behind you onto your bum or the couch or the chair behind you. And inhale your chest towards the ceiling. So this is exactly that same thing that we were just doing with squeezing the shoulder blades together, but now your hands are behind you. Lift your chest, inhale your breath deeply, and then exhale it. One more, lift your chest. And we're going to take a forward fold. So if you're on the ground, flip your legs around, exhale them down. If you're standing, forward fold. Take your strap, whatever it is, wherever it is, loop it around your feet and exhale, pull. Deep forward fold here, tiny bend in your knees. And use your breath, get as empty as you can. One more big breath. Bring one hand to your belly here. Let go of your strap. Bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your back. And come up using your belly. Do you feel that? Do you feel your belly activating, pulling you up? Of course, the muscles of your back are working as well. And then come to neutral. Take a breath. Let's do our puppet arms. Inhale your arms overhead. Grab your right wrist with your left arm. And just take a few little gentle pulls. The shoulder blade is moving across your back here. Your left arm is active. I'm just going to go backwards so that you can actually see my shoulder blade moving. This arm is active. This arm is totally soft. And I'm moving, getting as much movement in the shoulder blade here, the flat triangular bone, getting as much movement as that as you can. Layers of fascia moving around underneath. And then finally take that beach ball stretch. Pull the wrist forward, pull your belly button in the opposite direction as if you're over top of a giant beach ball. Take a breath. Release your hands to your lap. Same thing, other side. Inhale your arms overhead. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Find that soft left arm. All the effort is happening here with your right arm. The left arm is soft and fluid. Imagine, just if you know anything about the anatomy of your scapula, your shoulder blades, just imagine it just making this huge movement down towards your bum, towards your back pocket, and up towards your shoulder. You're juicing up all the layers there, and then finally pulling. Solidify your feet on the floor. If you're in a chair, pull your belly button back towards the back of the chair and pull your left wrist forward and take a few deep breaths. Release your hands down to your knees. Come back into a neutral posture. And take a breath to rest. Okay, I think we're gonna move out of the arms now and into the feet. Grab your strap. And if you're seated, you can totally do this seated. It's called heron pose if you're seated. If you're on the chair, loop your right foot into your strap and extend it in front of you. So your strap can be very long, your arms are straight and your back is long, your belly is strong. And then begin to bend your arms and bring your knee up towards your forehead. It doesn't have to come very far. You'll start to feel lots of tugging around your right hip. Try not to lean back, but to stay, your body is upright. If you feel like you're leaning back a lot, bend your right knee just a little bit and then pull a little more. Pull your knee towards your forehead. Take one big breath here. And then release your leg a little bit so that it's pointing towards me or the device. And then point and flex a few times. We've done this before. Point and flex. Resist with the strap. Take a few points and a few flexes. You don't have to point all the way. You can do like a Barbie foot. You can point, flexing and pointing. A few more till the top of your foot gets tired. And then replace it on the floor. Scoop the strap over your left foot. Extend it long. Find your nice straight spine and your strong belly. We're still in strong belly here. We're going to let our bellies out in a second. And then pull your foot towards your face or your knee towards your face. And try not to bend here. Try to remember in sexy jellyfish or in boat pose, we keep our chest up to the ceiling. Same thing here. Bend your knee a tiny touch if you feel like you're leaning back too far. Take 2 long breaths here. Use the muscles of your arms. Be a little bit of a different sensation in your hips right now. And then release your foot so it's parallel to the floor. And then point and flex. Do the same thing sitting down. You're kind of resisting that point with the strap. Few times. Until the top of your foot feels some fatigue. And then release your feet to the floor, release your strap. So if you're doing a standing up practice, you're going to want to come to standing up now. If you're on the couch, come up onto your tiptoes. If you're standing up, come up onto your tiptoes. So it's a balancing pose. If you're standing up, you can bring your hands out in front of you if that's helpful. And when you do this, this is when you're going to notice you really need working the belly. Pull the belly in, find a place in front of you to balance. Go as high up onto your high heels as you can. If you're seated, you can come up onto your toes, onto those high heels, and you can do this a couple of times. Come up and down. And of course, if you're standing, you're going to come up and down a little bit as you lose your balance. So if you're seated, you're going to start to feel some fatigue around your ankles. Take a few more. If you're standing, you're balancing and breathing. Last breath. If you're standing, come back to downward facing dog and work your way down to the floor again. If you're seated, just finishing up. And then bring your right foot over top of your knee. We've done this before. Same thing if you're seated. You can cross your right foot over top of your left knee. Interlace your fingers between your toes. Take a few good circles, big circles with your ankle. Use some arm muscle in your left arm. If you can't get your fingers between your toes, just grab onto your feet any way that you can. Take a couple of slow circles first. And then if you want to speed up a little bit, you can. can leave your fingers in between your toes if you like. Grab onto your right knee or your right thigh. Take a straight spine. If you're on the floor, you probably have your leg extended, but you don't have to. It can also be bent. And we're going to take a forward fold here. Seated pigeon. Deepen your breath. You don't have to go very far forward, just until you feel that tugging around your right hip. That means it's working. And then you breathe. It can be just the gentlest little tugging. And then you're going to increase the sensation with your breath. Begin to gently move your way out. Unlock or release your toes. Bring that new foot to the floor. Your right foot comes to the floor. Left foot comes up and over. Interlace your fingers. And your fingers might fit on one side and not on the other, but you can always leave some toes out. Just find something that stretches a little bit but isn't super uncomfortable. If you have toe spreaders, you can just use your toe spreaders here instead. And find some nice big rotations. These are called CARs, controlled articular rotations. We're going into the edges of the joint movement to nourish them. And we do them usually slow, and you can speed them up afterwards. And then sometimes you might want to have a couple speedier ones just to get things freed up. And then take your nice straight spine, strong belly, and exhale, forward fold. Just a touch. A little different stretch in your left hip. Deepen your breath here, LSD. Gently begin to release. Release your left foot. If you are on the floor, work your way back down into Shavasana or corpse pose. If you're in your chair, work your way back a little bit so you can feel the chair at the back of your knees. And let's do what we did at the beginning, which is this total release, just with one breath. So total release on your exhale. Let your whole body, this is a skill to be practiced. Let your whole body get soft on one exhale. It can be a very long exhale. Feel that wave of relaxation. You can start from the head or you can start from the toes. And just let it ripple through your body. Soften toes and feet. Feel the floor underneath your toes. Soften the tiny muscles of your toes and the tiny muscles of your feet. Huddle the big muscles of your legs. Release the backs of your knees. As much as you can, releasing connective tissue. Releasing your pelvis. Soften your belly. Remember I said we're going to go back to soft belly? This is the time. Soften your belly. Soften shoulders and neck. Soften your vocal folds. Let those rounded heads of your shoulders just fall back, cascade back, especially if you're on the floor, if you're lying down in corpse pose. Just let those shoulder heads roll back, slide back towards the floor. Let your shoulder blades go down your back towards your back pockets. Swallow gently. Your face become very soft. Your jaw hang a little. Soften your ears, just at the front of your ears where they connect to your jaw. Let that softness encircle your skull. Bring your attention back to your breath, back to your lips, teeth, soft and hard palate. Tissues of your throat. Notice how quickly you can come into this state of complete relaxation. It's completely at your control. So for homework, I ask you if you can practice this a couple of times, just a couple of times today. One obvious time is before you go to bed, but maybe another time when it's a little more tricky, when things are happening, when things are chaotic. Swallow now and deepen your inhale. Brighten your face. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Sparkle your eyes open. Lift your eyebrows. Thank you so much for joining me today on this Easter day. I hope everyone can get outside, do a little bit of movement outside today. I guess on the East Coast, this might be a little dark. I hope you got out this afternoon, even in the snow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are going to sing happy birthday to my brother. So if anybody wants to stay and sing happy birthday to Justin, they can.
Is
I
Justin
think
on?
he's been trying to get on.
Oh, Peggy even has pink hair and it, oh my God, that's awesome.
I have pink on.
Hey, Justin is there.
Is
Yay! Hey.
Pink on.
Okay, we're gonna sing. Oh my God, is everybody unmuted? I gotta unmute everybody because I don't want to sing.
I don't know. Am I muted? Are we muted?
Oh, you're good. You're good. Ready?
It's gonna be a mess.
I need.
A lot of feedback. Eric, are you gonna come in?
Kayla, I have to call down. Just a minute. Just a
Ready?
minute. Hold it. Hold it.
No, really, hold it, hold it.
Can you hear me?
There is bottom.
Hey, Eric.
Hello, Nikki. Hello.
Ready?
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday, little brother. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, John. Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
John.
Birthday, Jess.
Cumpleaños, deseamos a ti. Cumpleaños, little brother.
Recognize everybody?
I want to see
Everybody.
Gustav.
Peggy, look, Peggy has pink hair.
Peggy, I thought that was you.
Oh, hey, Tara.
Hi. You say hi?
You say hello? You say hello?
Hi, Ivy.
Ivy.
Hey, Janet.
Julian is there. Julian is
Hey,
there.
Janet.
Yeah.
Julian.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Fiona.
Next Iggy.
We're gonna
Bye.
try to
Thanks,
continue on.
I know, it's awesome.
Bye,
Bye. Uno.
Yeah, I think you go.
What do? Go like this?
You like,
Oh,
oh, tap to
There.
speak.
Come on.